Will Michael return as Dark Michael unleashing vengeance on Port Charles? Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease a very good question with Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, being off-screen for a while due to Chad's exit. Will the character change? If and when Michael returns, will he be Dark Michael, unleashing vengeance on Port Charles? Before the explosion, Michael Corinthos was a favorite in Port Charles. If and when he comes back after Chad's leaving the show, will he be feared? We didn't want Chad Duell to leave General Hospital as Michael in such a dramatic way, but that's the story we got. It's still unclear if Michael will survive his injuries, but we believe he will live and be taken to a burn care center for recovery. If that happens, we can't help but wonder what might happen when Michael returns. One major possibility is a healed Michael seeking revenge on Port Charles. We should take a moment to look back at some history from General Hospital before diving into a hypothetical situation. The last time Michael was in a life-or-death struggle was when he was younger and got shot by a sniper during an assassination attempt on Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. This incident left him in a coma for about a year, and when he finally woke up, he was no longer the sweet little boy he used to be, thanks to soap opera aging syndrome. Instead, he had turned into a moody teenager determined to follow his father's path, but his parents and Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, intervened. Additionally, Michael has shown that he shares his parents' desire for revenge when he feels wronged, and he is actually quite skilled at it. He approaches situations with a calculated mindset, often targeting the things his adversaries cherish the most. After Sonny eliminated AJ, Quartermain, Scene Cannon, Michael seized control of Avery Jerome Corinthos, Ava, and Grace Scarola as a means of revenge against his adoptive father. He even changed his name for a period of time from Corinthos to Quartermain. More recently, Michael was poised to strip Sonny of his freedom following the heartbreak he caused Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, and he also managed to snatch Aurora away from Drew Quartermain. Michael was the one behind bringing the late Dex Heller, Evan Hofer, to town to infiltrate Sonny's organization to get proof to turn him into the feds. Looking ahead, let's picture Michael getting better at the burn care facility and preparing to go home. Before he makes the move back to Port Charles, he discovers that Drew and Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, have continued their complicated romance. Drew stepped in as a father figure to Michael's two kids, unless Carly takes custody. Additionally, Michael learns that Sasha Corbin, Sophia Matson, had their baby and is now raising the child with Jason, as they have officially become a couple. On top of everything, Michael feels a deep resentment about what he has lost because of the explosion and blames Sonny's way of life for his troubles. These situations create several potential grudges for Michael. Michael might return to town with the intention of ruining the relationship between Drew and his ex-wife, especially if Carly hasn't intervened by then. He could be upset with his uncle and best friend Jason for stepping into the role of a father to a child he has never met. Since Michael is familiar with Sonny's business and has tried to get involved in the past, he might come back with a strategy to take control. He could remove Sonny from the position he has held for most of his life. Michael may believe he can manage it better than Sonny, feeling that his father has failed to protect the family, especially considering the situation with Morgan Corinthos, Brian Craig. Recently, the dimpled kingpin mentioned wanting to leave the business, and Jason expressed he wasn't interested in the job. This led us to think that either Michael or Christina Corinthos, Kate Mancy, might take over as the new leader of Port Charles. It would be intriguing to see Michael in a villain era. He could start a series of mysterious attacks on Drew, Jason, and Sonny, leaving them puzzled about who is targeting them. When he returns to town, he could act sweet and innocent, pretending to be friendly while secretly plotting against his former mentors. It might take some time for anyone to realize that Michael is the new threat in Port Charles who should be feared. The world of Port Charles is no stranger to unexpected twists, shocking revelations, and deeply emotional journeys. General Hospital, one of the longest-running daytime soap operas, has always had the ability to take its characters on roller coaster rides of love, betrayal, redemption, and many characters have undergone significant transformations, and Michael Corinthos is no exception. From a young boy caught in the crossfire of mob warfare to a grown man grappling with the complexities of family, business, and morality, Michael's character arc has been filled with both light and darkness. However, as spoilers begin to emerge, a question looms. Will Michael Corinthos return as a darker version of himself, unleashing vengeance upon Port Charles? Michael has always been a character defined by his sense of duty and responsibility. Raised in the shadow of his powerful father, Sonny Corinthos, Michael often found himself caught between the pull of his family's criminal empire and his desire for a more conventional life. For years, Michael struggled with reconciling the darkness of his family's business with his own moral compass. His relationships with the people he loved, Carly, his mother, his father, Sonny, and his siblings, have been tested time and again as Michael has navigated his own path. But could everything he's fought for, including his sense of integrity, be shattered by a devastating betrayal or tragedy? As fans eagerly await the unfolding storyline, there is growing speculation that Michael's journey may take a darker turn, one where vengeance becomes his driving force. This shift in Michael's character would not be entirely out of the blue. Throughout General Hospital's long history, many characters have undergone transformations from light to dark, and Michael has always been one of those figures who straddles the line between good and bad. However, a potential dark Michael would introduce an entirely new dynamic to Port Charles and raise the stakes of the show to unprecedented levels. If Michael were to embrace this darker persona, what would that mean for his relationships with his family, his friends, and his enemies? And more importantly, what kind of chaos could he unleash upon a town already rife with conflict and danger? The catalyst for Michael's transformation. In order for Michael to shift into a darker version of himself, something must occur to push him over the edge. Over the years, Michael has faced numerous trials and tribulations. He has been kidnapped, nearly died, and watched his loved ones suffer. Yet he has always managed to hold on to his core values, even if they were tested by the dangerous world around him. However, what if something were to happen that shattered Michael's sense of security and trust? What if he were to experience a loss so devastating that he could no longer see the world in the same light? One potential catalyst for Michael's transformation could be the death or near death of someone he holds dear. This person could be someone close to him, perhaps his mother, Carly, or even his father, Sonny. Both characters have played significant roles in Michael's life, and losing either of them could break him in a way that nothing else could. In particular, Sonny has been a driving force in Michael's life, both as a father figure and as the head of the Corinthos crime family. While Michael has often rejected his father's criminal lifestyle, the bond between them is unbreakable. If something were to happen to Sonny, it could very well push Michael into a deep emotional spiral, one in which he seeks revenge against those responsible. Another possibility is that Michael could experience a devastating betrayal at the hands of someone he trusts. In the complex web of relationships that make up Port Charles, betrayals are all too common, and Michael has already faced disloyalty in the past. However, what if this betrayal comes from someone within his own family or inner circle? Someone he never thought would turn against him. The sense of shock and heartbreak that would accompany such a betrayal could fuel Michael's descent into darkness, leading him to seek vengeance against those who have wronged him or his loved ones. If these types of events were to occur, it could push Michael to take drastic action. Michael has always been a character who values justice, but what happens when his version of justice becomes blurred with a desire for revenge? How far would he be willing to go to exact retribution? And would he be able to control the darkness inside him, or would it consume him entirely? The rise of Dark Michael. If Michael does indeed transform into Dark Michael, the implications for Port Charles would be far-reaching. The Corinthos family, already known for its criminal ties, would find itself grappling with the repercussions of Michael's quest for vengeance. As the son of the infamous mob boss Sonny Corinthos, Michael has always been tied to the dangerous world of organized crime, but he has tried to distance himself from it as much as possible. In a world where violence and manipulation are often the tools of power, would Michael's anger and thirst for revenge pull him back into the fold? And if so, how would he fit into the larger power dynamics of Port Charles? As Dark Michael, Michael could very well become a ruthless and calculating figure, someone who is no longer hesitant to take extreme measures to achieve his goals. His past hesitations, his moral dilemmas, and his desire to protect his family could give way to a more cold-blooded side of him. His actions could send shockwaves through the town, as old alliances are tested and new ones are formed. Michael's darker side could even make him a formidable adversary for those who have crossed him, from rival mob families to anyone who stands in his way. The transformation into Dark Michael could also redefine Michael's relationships with those closest to him. His mother, Carly, has always been a strong influence on him, and her reaction to his change in behavior would be one of the most significant aspects of this potential storyline. As a mother, Carly has always sought to protect her children from the dangers of their family's lifestyle. But would she be able to stop Michael from becoming a force of vengeance? Or would she, too, become entangled in his dark journey? Similarly, Michael's relationships with his siblings, especially his brother Morgan, could be tested in ways never before seen. Michael's shift into a darker persona could drive a wedge between him and those he loves, forcing him to make choices that could have lasting consequences for his family. Would he push away those who care about him, or would he find a way to bring them into his world of vengeance? And of course, the question remains, how would Sonny react to Michael embracing this darker side of himself? As the leader of the Corinthos family, Sonny's influence on Michael has always been powerful, but would he be able to pull his son back from the brink of darkness? Or would he lose him to a life of revenge? In terms of romantic relationships, Michael's transformation into Dark Michael would undoubtedly complicate matters. His relationships with women, particularly his past loves, would be impacted by his new persona. Would he be able to maintain any sense of love or loyalty, or would his thirst for vengeance override everything else? The complexities of Michael's emotional landscape would deepen as his desire for justice becomes entangled with his need for control, power, and retribution. Port Charles on edge. If Michael does return as a darker version of himself, Port Charles itself would be forced to confront the consequences of his actions. The town has always been a place of drama, intrigue, and danger, but the return of Dark Michael could take things to an entirely new level. Whether he's seeking revenge against those who have wronged him or making calculated moves to secure power within his family's criminal empire, Michael's transformation would set the stage for new rivalries, alliances, and confrontations. The residents of Port Charles have always been accustomed to danger, but a Michael Corinthos who has embraced the darkness within him could throw everything into disarray. Characters who have crossed paths with Michael in the past, such as Jason, Sonny, and Carly, will be forced to reckon with the changes in him. Will they try to stop him, or will they be drawn into his quest for vengeance? And what about those who are not yet familiar with the darker side of Michael's persona? The new Michael could become a figure of terror, as his ruthless tactics and unrelenting drive for justice place everyone in Port Charles at risk. In addition, the power struggle within Port Charles could take a new direction, with Michael's darker side shifting the balance of power. His ambition, once tempered by his conscience, could now lead him to challenge those who have stood in his way. Whether it's rival crime families, corrupt politicians, or anyone who dares to oppose him, Michael's transformation could turn the town upside down, leaving everyone to question their loyalties, their allegiances, and their survival. Will Michael Corinthos return as Dark Michael, unleashing vengeance on Port Charles? The answer to that question remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. If such a transformation were to occur, it would have profound consequences for everyone in Port Charles. As one of the central figures in the General Hospital universe, Michael's shift toward darkness would create ripple effects that would be felt across the entire town. His relationships, his sense of justice, and his role within the Corinthos family would all be put to the test. And as the story unfolds, viewers will be left wondering just how far Michael is willing to go, and what he's willing to sacrifice on his path to vengeance. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.